Norbs, and we are back. It is the 10-8 podcast, and I know I haven't been on, but decided to go on today, just trying to figure some shit out. But anyways, Devin Haney comes out and states he's back. Turki Al-Sheikh says, "Let's make it happen." We're definitely going to get into that. But recently, I'm waiting for my coach to come on right now. Devin Haney has came out and said that he's back in the fold and he'll be made. Well, pretty much he said he never left, but he's back. Blah 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 blah. So who's that? Who's that? My man Marco. Let me bring my man Marco. Marco, what's good, you handsome beast?
What's up?
What's the word, my guy? Now, let me introduce my guy.
Sure.
For people that don't know, the movie Boogie Nights was actually loosely based off of Marco. He was the original Dirk Diggler. This is the rumors going around.
Okay.
Marco, what's good, bro?
Why not? What's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm seeing your man Devin Haney's making his return to the ring. Apparently, he announced it yesterday that he will be making a comeback, but he said he never left. And he'll be making his return soon. And Turki Al-Sheikh, basically came out and was like, "Yeah, let's make it happen." Blah blah blah. First and foremost, what you think about Devin Haney coming back or making a return? I can't hear you.
Now I was talking to my kids. I don't know. It depends who he's fighting. Who's he fighting? Who are the prospective opponents?
Well, Turki Al-Sheikh said that he'll see him on the next. I don't know how to say that. I thought it said Ryder card. What is? How do you pronounce that?
Riyadh.
Riyadh, yes, Riyadh.
Riyadh. They call it Riyadh season. I'm not really sure what that means.
I don't know either.
I know it's all of Al-Sheikh's events are called Riyadh season. I don't know why they call it Riyadh season. I don't get it.
I don't either. But apparently, that's what's being worked out.
Riyadh is the capital of Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
So why is it called Riyadh season? Riyadh season is one of the largest entertainment event variety. Oh, okay. So it's a huge. Riyadh season is a series of entertainment, cultural, and sporting events held in Saudi Arabia. In Riyadh, is introduced in 2019 by the General Entertainment Authority, which Turki Al-Sheikh heads. Okay. Yeah. So it's their campaign to, I guess, bring more tourism.
Let me ask you a question before we get into Devin Haney. What do you think about Turki Al-Sheikh and what he represents in boxing right now? What do you think? Because I got kind of mixed feelings about Turki Al-Sheikh.
I don't know. I think he's bringing us the best fights that we wouldn't have gotten. We wouldn't have seen Usyk and Fury because that already felt that we wouldn't have seen. But I think he is going to set up boxing for what America's going through, which is
what's that?
An inflation and then a recession. When he stops, when he decides that this is no longer a hobby he's interested in, which will happen at some point. It could be 1 year, it could be 5 years.
Yeah.
Now all the fighters, everything's inflated. They're used to getting all this money unsubstantiated because he just the reports are that he just lost 10 million on the last event.
Yeah, millions, yep.
So no other promoter is going to do that because their funds aren't so unlimited.
Yeah, isn't he like the oil prince or something like that? Like he controls.
He's not an oil prince. The country is oil, right?
Okay.
No, I just looked this up. I didn't know this about him either. He is the head of what I just read to you, basically the Saudi Arabian Entertainment Corp Association that puts on entertainment for Saudi. He heads that. Okay. So he's not military in any way, but he has those funds. So basically the Saudi government says, you run it, we'll give you whatever money you need. You just, submit to us what you need and we'll fund you.
Okay.
So he works for the government.
See, this is my thing. And I read those reports about the Bud Crawford event. And this is the crazy thing. You stopped that he lost 10 million. Apparently they cut the tickets in half. They gave out thousands of tickets and still couldn't fill the building, right? And
why would they? Bud's not a big name. to the general public,
Mhm.
and absolutely neither is Madrimov. So why
Mm-mm.
would they sell it out? People,
Well,
I was on the
mm,
Boxing Voice, right, and we were talking about this, and a few of them were like, "Oh, look at all the stars. You know,
who
Bud
cares?
brings out the stars." I'm like, "You think this is Bud bringing out these stars?
No, no,
No, this is
no.
Turki Al-Sheikh. Big old Eminem's performing. Okay, well, I'm like, okay, maybe
They
partially
still could have
Eminem.
it out.
No, these stars were there because Turki Al-Sheikh has all this money and all this influence and all these connections, and he just reaches to people and says, "Hey," like they go to talent agencies. You ever heard of William Morris, for example?
Yeah. Hmm.
They'll go to William Morris, say, "Look, hit up all your biggest clients. We got free tickets. We'll give them even a. We'll pick them up. Well, because I know that they were for the first fight, they were giving the fighters the Ngannou Fury. Remember when all the
Yeah.
big fighters were there? They
Yeah.
were paying them appearance fees, paying for their flights, paying for their hotels. So the same thing for this last fight. They go to William Morris, for example, or they go to Three Arts Entertainment, and they go, "Hey, all your biggest clients, we're gonna any of them who want to see boxing." And that's how they do it, and that's how they bring in. It's not Bud drawing stars. Come on.
No, 1000%. And this is another. And I want to harp on that point. The boxers are showing up because they want a piece of that pie. The promoters want a piece of that money, and it's almost like they get hoard out in a sense. And this is my issue with Turki Al-Sheikh. It seems as if you have any type of pushback with him, if you have any type of backbone against him, he really makes it public. Like the whole Canelo thing with his first time was crazy to me. Like if you're trying to make that Bud fight happen, why would you show up to the Crawford fight and kind of tell Canelo it's in his best interest to take this fight and kind of call him out? You're supposed to be nonpartisan in that situation, right? And then Canelo never put out the conversation that they had, but he did, and basically came out and said he's not willing to work with Canelo, blah blah blah, and then he basically called him a coward. Then you keep going. Forget Canelo. Then he comes out and says, I don't want to work with Tim Tszyu. So to me, it's kind of, I don't want to say necessarily it's a bad thing, but it seems like it's more of an ego thing with him. For instance, how is he placed in the Hall of Fame after a year in boxing? That's insane to me.
Who put him in the Hall of Fame?
They gave him I think this is, you gotta look it up. Look it up when you get a chance. Las Vegas, I think it was. Or one of them. They put him in the Hall of Fame after like a year.
The Vegas
Look
Hall
it
of
up.
Fame?
I think it's the boxing Hall of Fame. I could be wrong, but just look it up.
That's not the international one. It can't be that one. That's the one in Canastota. I think it's the Vegas. They just had an event in Vegas this weekend that just passed.
Check. Yeah, I know. Shout out to Zab Judah. He had got inducted, but I feel like, and just my opinion, like it just seems more personal to him. Like if you're not listening or you're not doing what he says, and that's kind of where I'm kind of like iffy about Turki Al-Sheikh, and I get, to get all the big fights happening and all that stuff, but and try to get the championships worth something. But
you're right. But you know what? We're dealing with human beings, and look, Canelo had his little ego thing. I'm not fighting Benavidez because I don't like the way he approaches me. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tank Davis and doesn't want to fight Shakur and all these things going on. So you're right, though. He does have an ego. I mean, he's a fucking Saudi. He comes into a sport, and everybody's on his dick. Like everybody.
They want a piece of the pie. Yeah.
All of them, right? So he instantly, and you have to understand too, man. I don't know how many like Middle Eastern dudes you knew, but like I knew a lot growing up, and they're on there like I'm the man, king of the castle type shit. Like there's being a man and having an ego and being like it's big in Middle Eastern culture. So he's also on. That's how those dudes are. And really, I mean, same shit in the hood. Like it's a big thing, but especially in that culture. So they don't take anybody not, kissing the ring, so to speak. They don't take it lightly. They're like, "Fuck you, then." I'm the only
100%. If you notice, you don't even see women. You don't even see women at those events. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, if you saw the first event he put on with Ngannou and Fury, I mean, he had 50 of the biggest living, most popular, most legendary, 50 of them, if not more, boxing there, all praising him. So that instantly inflated his ego.
Yeah, it was Vegas. It was the Vegas Hall of Fame. But no, and I get it. And it's just like, to me, the Tim Tszyu thing, like the way he approaches things and makes it public. I'm like, bro, if you was ever trying to make that fight happen, you're not supposed to go out and attack some of these guys. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. And I've dealt with it. And when I used to do the whole battle rap stuff, whenever somebody came around with money, he was everybody's brother, everybody's best friend. Shout out to my brother, Shakur Stevenson. That's not your brother. You don't even know Shakur Stevenson. Like, let's be honest at this point. And I just feel like, if he just all of a sudden stops, like he just lost money over there. He said he lost money at the one previous to this one. When it ends, what happens then? You know what I mean? So to me, it's kind of a weird situation. And he's spoken about getting everybody under one umbrella. You know what I mean? Kind of like an NFL and NBA, so they can force people to fight. But how are you going to get these big names? And you know what I mean? To come on the floor. Gervonta Davis has not responded well to him. Canelo Alvarez is not.
Well,
so,
the two biggest names.
Yeah, the two biggest.
They don't need him.
Absolutely.
They don't need him. And those are also two guys. See, there's a balance in life, right? It's not all. Those are also, on the flip side, two guys that don't like being told who to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Avoid certain fighters, not because they're scared, just because it doesn't make sense for them business-wise. So they know that when somebody comes in with a lot of money, they can't use, like Canelo's, what was his big thing? Give me $200 million, I'll fight Benavidez. Well, of course nobody's going to do that. But he knows that Turki might damn well do that.
Yeah, facts.
So that's why he's like, I don't want, what if he does give me the 200? Now I got to fight him. I don't want to fight this guy. He's too big. Mm-hmm. Canelo just admitted it. He just admitted, finally, I've been saying this.
We've said it for a while, yeah.
But he didn't. I've been saying this to you, for everybody, for a while. It wasn't that he wants 200 million. What the biggest thing is when Canelo goes, what does he offer me besides 25 pounds?
Yeah, absolutely.
That stood out. Not people focused on the 200 million. To me, it was a 25. And he finally, just now, I forget who he was talking to. I think he was on Big Boy, maybe.
It was either on Big Boy or $1 million worth of game. I know exactly. I seen the interview.
It was Big Boy. He goes, no, he's too big. He's like, this guy comes in, blah blah blah. He's like, no, it's a big risk. So I'll give him props for finally being honest. That's what it's about.
No, 1,000%, and I agree with you. And I feel like Canelo has every reason to feel that way. I mean, Benavidez is a big guy, but
but at the same time, he makes the weight. You know what I mean? So it's like it's part of the rules. But
And
100%. Canelo, here's another thing too. I've been saying this for so long. I'm saying Canelo is really a 160 pounder. Said I could pull up tons of videos of me saying this now for the past 2 years. Mm-hmm. I say he's successful at 68 because his power, his experience, but he's really a 160 pounder.
100%.
And what did he just say? He goes, I'm really 160. He's like, I'm not fighting this guy who comes in weighing almost 200 on fight night.
Yeah, facts. No, you got to give him. It's honest, but at the same time, when it comes to boxing, I think this is what, and you could say whatever you want about Gervonta or Canelo. Every fight has a different price point to it, and I think people got to understand it. And that's the difference between boxing and any other sport. If you follow the NFL, they get paid yearly. They get paid per game, right? They agree to a contract. In boxing, your money's based upon the hype behind that certain fight, and there's a certain price point that Canelo believes in, and that's why it's going to be very difficult to bring everybody under one umbrella. And then, then you have the top ranks, you have the De La Hoyas, how much they're going to get out of the situation. So, I mean, I get it. I totally get it. I just, when it comes to Turki Al-Sheikh, I feel like he got the money. I don't know how long he's going to be there, especially at the way he approaches
I've been
certain
saying
things.
That, man. He is setting us up for an inflation and a recession in boxing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting 25 million a fight, you're not going to go back down to 3.
No, but at a certain point, you might have to. So there's just going to be a stagnant period where it's going to be the inflation, where people are like they've just been doing now. Mm-hmm. I own a business. I've been feeling it bad for the past year. People are like, fuck that. I'm not spending that. So there'll be no fights, but then eventually people adjust. They're like, okay, well, I guess I have no choice. I got to live my life. I guess I'll spend it. No,
you're right, and that's my whole thing.
It's like a principle. Like I'm not spending that.
No, but that's my thing too, as well as like it's an individual that's making these decisions as well, and he's already shown that if you cross him, he's willing to just shut you out. So it's one of those things too. Like I think, and Tim Tszyu kind of came out and was like, yo, I don't know. I would work with him. Like he kind of kept it professional, but he kind of outed Tim Tszyu, like, yo, I would never work with him. So what? We don't get Tim Tszyu now because you got a personal problem with him?
Well, and Tim just did an interview being like, yeah, I like him. I'm cool with him.
Yeah, I seen it, but Turki Al-Sheikh came out and said it's like if you don't comply to what he wants, it is what it is. It's kind of like a dictatorship at this point. So to me, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him. I didn't like the way he handled the Canelo situation. Like when I seen him at the Buck Crawford fight, when he was just like, it's in your best interest. That's not going to get the fight done with Canelo. We all know Canelo is super sensitive. He does not like that type of disrespect. He just doesn't. You know what I mean? He's shown it in the past.
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis does not like that type of being talked to that way. So to me, it kind of messes up a lot of things in boxing. You're probably going to get a lot of the bigger fights that are low end, but the superstars we're probably not going to get. Like I don't believe we're going to get Shakur and Gervonta Davis because of the relationship with C. Because Gervonta just asked for 40, apparently, allegedly, for Lomachenko. What do you think he's going to ask for Shakur? Especially knowing that, quote unquote, his brother Turki Al-Sheikh is behind now. Shakur Stevenson. What do you think he's going to ask for now? So to me, I mean, I think it's gonna hold stuff up, and that fight is not worth Gervonta getting $50 million, especially with Shakur Stevenson's past performances in the last couple. Nobody is sitting there saying, "I want to spend $100 on a pay-per-view, right, for a guy that's not going to entertain me or even attempt to actually mix it up with the individual." So, I mean, I get it. I know a lot of people think it's a good thing, Turki Al-Sheikh. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's 100% a good thing because I feel like his personality is rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. That's just me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I feel you.
But Devin Haney, let's get back to Devin Haney. Turki Al-Sheikh said that he'll bring him into the whatever.
Real quick, big up to the dude in your chat. Balls Deep is gross. That's a gross name.
Yeah, that really
that's
is.
Grossing me out. Appreciate you, but damn, now you got visuals in me, and I don't. Anyway, go ahead.
That's insane. Okay, the better get it while it's hot. Yeah, I mean that is a good comparison, but when somebody comes in with that type of money, you see De La Hoya there, you see everyone there. De La Hoya's sitting there like this guy's the best thing. He's trying to make all the big fights, and I'm kind of sitting there, and I like Oscar, but let's be real, bro. You want a big buyout. You want that $100 million I'm out of here buyout type of situation, just like everybody else that's out there. There's no real loyalty towards them. They all see how much money this individual has. So I don't necessarily think that it would be a great thing because everybody sees the UFC model, right? Look, the UFC, they get all the best fights. They get all of this. They get that, right? But what people don't also see is these guys are also getting paid less than their value. UFC's making all of the money. Those fighters aren't making a lot of money. You know, that's why they'll come over to boxing. Who was it? The guy that just saw for Fury? He made way more money for one boxing fight against Fury than he ever did in the UFC. So I don't know how that's going to work financially. And I don't necessarily think for the fighter that it's beneficial at that point because once everything's under one umbrella, they can dictate the money. I mean, think about it. What UFC fighters are really making that type of money?
I don't follow. I don't know shit about UFC.
Yeah, me neither. But I mean, what I do know is they don't get paid like that. They really do not get paid like that. So Devin Haney's come back, right? After what his fight was in June? No, when the hell was the fight? No, May, right? May.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
No, it was April 20th. It was 420, right?
April, May.
Yeah, it was 420. So Devin
4
Haney,
months.
He's coming back. He said he'll be back in 3 months.
Okay.
What do you think about him finally returning? Right? He actually referred to himself as the savior, right? And due to what he went throughout that process, if you were to suggest a fight from, who would it be?
He has to fight Ryan Garcia again.
Ryan can't fight till next April. April 20th.
I would fucking, yeah, okay. That's kind of a long time to wait.
I'm with you. I think he should fight Ryan Garcia April 20th of next year. I think that'll be the biggest monetary fight. I think it'll be the most money he'll absolutely see.
Devin is a super lightweight. Okay, so here we go. Teofimo, Liam Paro, Subriel, Juan Carlos Ramirez, Richardson Hitchens. Okay, so none of the Prograis, Arnold Barboza, who's undefeated but didn't look. I mean, it depends what he's looking for. Barboza would be a good fight because Barboza poses the least amount of risk. Josh Taylor's not even in this anymore.
Yeah, I don't see Josh Taylor. But wasn't he supposed to defend it against oh my God, Sammartine? Was it?
I would do Teofimo, but I don't think Devin wants.
That's a big risk.
Exactly, but this is boxing. Well, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Bro, think about it. You're right. It is boxing. He just mentally took a beating out of his life.
This is boxing, though, man. You're here to fight. You're not here to. He's at the championship. He was an undisputed champion. He's not padding his record. We're past that stage.
Shit. You think that he should fight Teofimo? I don't think that. I mean, I think Teofimo takes it.
I'm looking at it in terms of a boxing fan. Now, if I'm looking at it in terms of Devin Haney's handler and his management, no, he shouldn't.
Yeah.
But why do we facilitate fights like that we don't want to see? You want to see him fight Arnold Barboza? No disrespect to Arnold. Like, I've interviewed him, he's cool, but like, no, we want to see him fight. Arnold's just not at that level yet. We want to see him fight the top guys.
So after seeing him against Ryan, do you think he's back? He's at that level, or do you think maybe just
one fight does not a story tell? Because first off, we have the Austrian. We don't know if that was responsible for any of what took place or not.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's say it wasn't. Let's say the Austrian had nothing to do with it, or still, it's just one fight. Some guys just don't look, or a guy has their number. Sometimes somebody has their number and they come back. So we have to see more. That's the problem with boxing right now. Not right now. Always. Yeah. People take one fight and they roll. Look, Terrence Crawford, because of what he did to Errol Spence, turned out to be, he could beat Canelo. People thought he could beat Canelo.
Yeah.
People thought he could beat Benavidez, I even heard people saying.
Yeah.
Because he had one fight against. Look at the fight he had right before that. Sean Porter was balls deep in his ass.
Yeah.
That sounded awful.
Yeah.
But that's not. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and his corner told him he was losing the fight.
He was. I had him losing.
Yeah.
Now look, he did what he had to do. But by the way, did you see my shit on the Porter Way podcast?
Yeah, I seen that. Congratulations! Shout out to Sean Porter,
my man.
My dog.
Yeah. So. It's just one fight. I don't know. I need to collect. So I took this class in college called statistics. You ever take that?
No, I didn't. Okay.
Okay. Statistics is basically just percentages. It's just like
I know
dealing with percentages and samples. So my point is, one thing you learn is to get the most accurate calculation, the most accurate result. You have to have a large sample size, meaning you have to collect as many. So instead of when you poll somebody who's the greatest fighter in the world, if you poll 5 people, that's not a very accurate rendition of who. But if you poll 1 million people, now you're like, out of 1 million, 80% of them think it's Muhammad Ali. So it's safe to say Muhammad Ali is a good answer. So I need to collect more data. I can't just take one fight of Devin's where he doesn't look good and be like, he's garbage. He's done. We need to see more.
But I don't necessarily think it's garbage, but I think it's mentally taxing, and just the way he responded to it and the way he was talking. And I think mentally, and boxing is a mano-a-mano sport, right?
Yep.
You're out there by yourself and you're taking shots, and he took a beating. Let's not act like he didn't.
You know what though, Norbs? Think about it. Though. Did he take a beating? Because I had the fight 6 rounds to 6 rounds on the scorecard.
Yeah.
Because of the 3 knockdowns, it was a landslide victory for Ryan, points-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan spent 6 rounds, if not more, doing his Victorville shell and not engaging and then holding.
Yeah.
He exploded onto Devin maybe 5 times. Mm-hmm. And every time he did that, he either dropped him or hurt him. So was it really a beating when you just got fucked up in like 4 or 5 exchanges in the whole fight?
I think.
And spent 6 rounds being held?
No, 100%. I think Devin was winning the fight, but I feel like when you haven't been dropped before, and now you're dropped 3 or 4 times, he could have possibly been dropped 5 times in that fight. Let's be real.
It just
Right?
gave the impression that Ryan was so much stronger because it only took a couple. Because really, I bet you Devin probably outlanded Ryan by a lot, but
Yeah,
Ryan's were just so much stronger and and
yeah.
and and created so much more damage. It gave you the impression that he got fucked up.
No, but,
And he
but
did. He took a beating, but was it
Yeah.
a vicious, awful beating?
I think mentally, because of everything he was doing leading up to that, with Bill Haney talking about he's the next one, with him going back and forth with Floyd Mayweather, them saying, a lot of expectation, not just the loss in the ring and getting knocked down all those times, but everything that you don't even see Bill Haney. I haven't seen Bill Haney recently in a minute. Like he
Nah,
hasn't even talked.
what's he gonna do after all that?
No, 100%. And even he questioned changing trainers at that point. So I think mentally, where is Devin is the biggest question. And to put him in the ring with somebody like Teofimo Lopez, who could punch. I mean, at 140, he hasn't been a big puncher, but he's dangerous. I think he's a better fighter than Ryan Garcia. Period. I think he's better. To put him back in that situation, knowing what he's been through, I don't know, man. I think it's a tough sell for me. If I'm Bill Haney, I get him a win and I get him a stoppage. I try to get him somebody that I know he can stop, which is going to be tough because Devin is not the biggest puncher, right? But he has to dominate. He has to put somebody out. I think he has to build him up mentally again to actually believe he's that one. Because people can say whatever they want. Oh, he doesn't have the loss anymore. He still has that right here. He still sees it right here.
Well, he might not because it was countered. There was an antidote given when the steroid test came out. So I know myself, for example, if that happened to me, I get my ass whooped, and then it turns out some guy took steroids, it would instantly lift a lot of the mental drain. Like, oh, that wasn't really him. That was the drugs. He's not better than me. He cheated. So that don't sleep on how much that maybe alleviated the mental beatdown.
If that's the case, then why not just wait for Ryan and then beat him and thoroughly test him? I think that would lift it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a possibility, just like when Miguel Cotto did what he did against Margarito. But this is not Miguel Cotto. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how mentally tough Devin really is. And to me, and I'm with you, I think they should definitely wait. And maybe that can help him move past this loss. But I think it's still living with him. I still think he goes to sleep with it, So to me, I don't know, man. I think he should definitely wait. But that's just my opinion. So who you said you would let him fight Teofimo? If you're his manager, forget about as a fan. If you're Bill Haney right now, who do you give him?
If I'm Bill Haney, who do I give him?
Yeah.
He
was talking about going up to 147 too, which is kind of crazy.
I don't know, man.
Do you suggest him going up to 147 or staying at 140?
No. He doesn't hit hard enough to go up to 147. I think, I mean, you can go with Josh Taylor, you can go with Barboza, you can, if you want to go with, I would suggest going with, I don't know. I would go with Teofimo. I would do a big fight.
That's too big of a risk. I'd rather go after somebody like Adrian Broner or even who just beat him? Blair the Flair. Someone I think he can beat.
Blair would be a good fight. Actually, Blair would be a good fight. I don't know if he could beat Blair, by the way, but Blair would be a good fight.
You don't think so? You don't think he could beat Blair? I like Blair. I think it's hilarious.
Blair is a lot better than people give him credit for.
He's awkward, very awkward.
He has decent power, speed. He's a southpaw.
I would even consider Rolly. I think it's a high profile fight.
Well, Rolly's fighting somebody now.
Yeah, he's fighting now, but I would wait. I mean, hopefully Rolly wins that fight, and hope Rolly wins impressively, and then put him in there with Rolly. Rolly can't beat him unless he lands, and then I think Haney could stay away from that power. He doesn't have that quick reflex that Ryan has. You know what I mean? And I think it could be a fight where they can both sell it because we know Rolly's probably the greatest when it comes to marketing himself and his fights. And it could be a really big victory and not so hard victory for a Devin Haney. I mean, that's what, or an Adrian Broner. Either one of those, because he was tempted to fight Adrian Broner in the last fight when they were scared that Ryan was going to back out of the fight, and they were talking about Adrian Broner stepping in. I think those are the fights that he might want to take. That's just me. Even though Adrian Broner just got his ass whipped by Blair to Flair, but Blair to Flair is another one. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Blair to Flair.
That wouldn't be a bad fight.
I'm not mad at that. I like Blair to Flair. What do you feel about Blair to Flair?
What do I feel about him? I like him.
What do you think about him?
I mean, I just interviewed him actually a couple days ago.
Oh, he's fucking hilarious.
He's a good fighter, you know. He's a good fighter, but I don't think he's going to get his shot, unfortunately.
Why do you say that?
I just don't think because there's so many other people out there, and I don't think he's going to get a shot. I just get that feeling, and he's in his mid-30s almost already. So,
what is he? He's at 140, right? His last fight was Adrian Broner. He put Broner down.
Was that 40 or 47?
I thought it was 40, but it could be 47. It might be 47. I personally like Blair to Flair. I think he's hilarious, but I think Devin should give him that fight. I think that would be something dope. I think it would sell. Somebody said Josh Taylor versus. I don't know, man, but I do want to see Devin back in. But I'm with you. I'd rather see him wait. But if he was to take a fight, I would say Blair to Flair, honestly. But you don't think he could beat Blair to Flair?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I can't tell. I guess Devin would have to be favored, but I wouldn't be surprised if Blair edged it out.
Damn, I didn't even know Blair was in his mid-30s. Why hasn't he got a shot?
He's 34.
Really?
So something like that. Maybe early 30s, but almost mid-30s.
Yeah, I'd like to see it, but I don't know, man. I definitely want to see what Devin's gonna do, but apparently he's gonna be on that Rodea, whatever call. I don't even. How do you say it again?
Riyadh.
It looks like Ryder. That's what when I see it, I see Ryder.
You know, it's Riyadh. Riyadh season.
Whatever.
Yeah, Blair's
they say he
34.
needs to stay away from Blair to Flair. He's saying, let's talk about it. Says he needs to stay away from Blair to Flair. Blair to Flair is the GOAT. I want to see Blair to Flair versus Rolly Romero, too. I'm not going to lie. I think that would be kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, Rolly is going to disappear now out of boxing.
You think so?
Yep.
You think you don't think he wins this fight coming up?
I don't know, but I don't think anybody cares anymore.
Huh?
I don't think anybody cares anymore.
About Rolly?
Yeah.
I think Rolly should get into podcasting. I think he's hilarious.
I don't think he's that funny. He's
You
like.
don't think Rolly's hilarious? I think he's dead funny.
He's just kind of crass and says like
outlandish stuff.
But like he has the verbal arsenal of like a 13-year-old. Like, oh, my dick's bigger than your arm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
So it's all right, but now he's not even. Now he's kind of not even this great knockout artist anymore. He's just kind of a dude who.
He was never a great knockout artist, though.
He hits hard. He hits really hard. But
no, he hit hard, but he was built up through the Mayweather camp to fight Gervonta to make it look like he had a decent opponent. We all knew he was not. Come on, let's be real. He was never supposed to be one of those guys.
Right.
He just happened to take advantage of it because he was pretty funny. And people like him because of that.
Right.
But I like Rolly, man. I think he's entertaining. I got him on my top 5 pound for pound list. I got him as number 1 as top 5 pound for pound most entertaining. Not best boxers, but most entertaining. I like the guy. But I don't know, whatever. I'm about to get up out of here, Marco. What are you doing tomorrow? You're free tomorrow?
Most likely at some point in the day.
What's up? You coming to Philly or what, man? What we doing?
Why? You in Philly?
Bro, see what this is like? This is August 24th.
Oh,
fights. Wow, right. Marco. Wow.
See, I moved to Connecticut.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Philly, August.
It's August 24th, that Saturday. I'll be in the building.
I'm gonna be in Philly. I'm actually commentating for Fight TV, Shane Mosley's exhibition.
Oh, really?
In Philly. That'll be September 14th or 18th or one of those, whatever Saturday that is.
September 14th, I think, is the Saturday. That's the same day Canelo's fighting.
Yes. No, Canelo's fighting the 28th, I think.
No, it's the 14th, dude.
Who's fighting the 28th?
I don't know, but I know Canelo's fighting the 14th.
Oh, yeah. No. My bad. I'm going the 28th
Okay.
in Philly.
Okay.
Right. Canelo is fighting the 14th. Yeah, he's fighting a week or two earlier.
So wait, hold on. What's going on? What exhibition is that? He's fighting against who?
I never heard of the dude. Some I don't even know. I think he's like an influencer. It's for celebrity boxing.
Really? Yeah. Yo, Shane Mosley's like one of my favorite fighters. He's in my top 5 all time favorite fighters. I love Shane Mosley.
Yeah, cool dude. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be commentating that. There's gonna be other fights, but I think that's the only one of note.
Bro, I haven't even heard about it. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. But hopefully he really tries to fight the dude. I don't know. They might go easy.
I mean, you're not fighting. I mean, Mosley's kind of one of those guys with what's the word I'm looking for? With not pride, but compassion. Mosley's a compassionate person, bro. I don't think he wants to go in there and beat on someone that's not a real boxer.
I don't know, man.
What did he say? He said he's gonna go in there.
He said he told me he's gonna go in there and try and take care of him, but we'll see.
Really?
You know, there could be. You never know with these things. Exhibitions. It could be part of the contract. Like, all right, don't go too hard. You know, who knows?
Whatever. But on that note, man, I'll let you go. I'm out to cook, man. If you're free tomorrow, let's get rocking. I got
all right,
you,
cool.
My guy.
Appreciate you.
All day. My
Peace.
man.